In today's video, we're going to talk about some basic mosaic terms, from tools, adhesives, substrates, tiling methods, and materials. We'll talk about their formal names and their nicknames. I'm looking at you, runner. Those are pliers. By the end, you'll be comfortable with all the mosaic lingo. Let's get to it. Welcome back, and if you're new here, my name is Julie, and on this channel we talk about tips, tricks, tools, adhesives, materials, and specific mosaic projects, all to shorten your learning curve when it comes to creating mosaic art. So if that sounds like something you'd be interested in, please consider subscribing. Today's video was requested by a viewer here on the channel, Loretta Jones. And her comment sparked a lot of interest from me. And Loretta Jones writes, I just started doing mosaic pots and am loving your instructional videos. Thank you, Loretta. You probably have covered this in past videos, but it would be helpful to me to have some instruction on mosaic terms, especially the kinds of mosaic materials that you refer to often, like ceramic, glass, etc. Great question, Loretta. And yes, I have done videos on a lot of these terms that we're going to discuss today, but they're spread out over many videos. So what we're going to do today is we're going to take the mini terms that are in the mini videos and we're going to wrap them up and put a nice bow on it here in one video today. If you're just starting in mosaics, the terms we will discuss today will help you learn about mosaic and what these things can do for you and your artwork. We'll talk about tools, substrates, materials, adhesives, and some other stuff. And we'll talk about their formal names and then their nicknames. You might call something or refer to something or think of something in a particular way, but in the mosaics world, it's called something completely different. I'm sure that's common for a lot of art forms and really industries in general. If I've done a video on a particular topic here on the channel, as we discuss it, I will call your attention to the fact that there is a link listed down below to that video where you can dive deeper into that subject matter. I will go quickly through this list and won't spend very much time on each item, so it's to your advantage to sort of dive deeper into these subjects that I'll list down below. And as time goes on and our skill level increases on this channel, we will revisit this type of video so that we can continue learning about the vocabulary and what things could be, should be, are called, so that it will help you and your artwork. We've got a lot to cover, so let's get started. We'll start by discussing mosaic hand cutting tools. These are tools you want to get your hands on. Sorry, I just can't resist a good pun. But seriously, if you're just starting in mosaics, you want to get your hands on these tools. First up are tile nippers, also known as nippers or ceramic tile nippers. I did an extensive video about this tool here on the channel, and what I showed was that this tool can cut a lot more than ceramic tile. But formally, they're tile nippers. That's what they're sold as. Next up are compound tile nippers or compound nippers. These are the bigger brother to the tile nippers we just talked about. And not only are they bigger, they can cut harder materials but require less hand strength to get the job done. These nippers are included in the tile nippers video I did, which I'll link below. The next tool is my favorite tool in the studio, and it's called the wheeled glass nippers. Now, this tool can sometimes be called the wheeled mosaic tool or the wheeled glass tool or glass nippers. This tool has two wheels at one end, which allows you to cut all sorts of glass, china, some ceramic, and porcelain, And yes, I did a video on this tool, which will be linked below. The next two tools I'll talk about together since they're a dynamic duo. The glass cutter, also known as a glass scorer, does just that. With its carbide wheel at one end, it scores the surface of your material by pushing or pulling the tool, which breaks the surface tension of the material you're scoring. Then, the running pliers, or runner, allows you to break the material along that score line. I've used these two tools on all sorts of glass as well as thin ceramic, and I'll link those videos below. The next hand tool is called a grinding stone, or some might call it a sanding stone or sander. This allows you to grind down rough edges on the material you've cut. Sanding stones will often come in two different grits. One side is smooth and one side is rough. You can use it on glass, you can use it on porcelain, ceramic, and basically you put it in water and then run your piece back and forth over the surface of the stone. The coolness of the water eliminates the dust factor as well as keeps your piece cool, which reduces breaking and cracking from your piece getting too hot from the friction. An alternative to a grinding stone would be an electric grinder. This does all the work for you and allows you to look at your piece while grinding it. Plus, you can do things like grind inside of curves. Next up, we'll talk about adhesives and grout. Adhesives are the glue that allow you to adhere your pieces to your base item. These could include thin-set mortar, mastic, which is also known as tile adhesive, PVA or white glues such as Weld Bond, or other appropriate adhesives for Mosaic such as Loctite, E6000, liquid nails, and epoxy. Grout is the stuff that you see between tiles or the glass pieces in a mosaic. Traditionally, grout is a cement-based dry powder that is mixed with water or an acrylic additive to form a substance kind of like the texture of cookie dough, which can be spread over a mosaic and pushed into the openings between tile material. You can also buy grout pre-mixed. In no way is grout an adhesive. It's there basically for its stunning good looks. There are some cases though where grout works to keep your tile pieces safe and secure. It also does a great job of keeping dust out of the grout line of your mosaic. Grout comes in a wide range of colors. You can also add pigments to grout to get it to a different color or different shade. The grout, which separates the tile pieces in a mosaic, is considered the grout line. I said traditionally grout is cement-based, and that's because sometimes other materials are used as grout. I've used microbeads as grout for many of my more delicate holiday pieces, and I've also used crushed pieces of stained glass. So grout can be a more general umbrella term for the substance that's in between tile pieces in a mosaic. So sometimes you need to specify what will be the grout because there is a little artistic interpretation in there. There is one adhesive which can do double duty as a grout as well as an adhesive, and that's thin-set mortar. This is also cement-based. It comes in a dry powder form which you mix with water to activate it, or you can purchase it pre-mixed. This is an adhesive you would want to use if you were doing something on the exterior of your house, or let's say garden art, or even inside your house where it's subject to moisture or water. And just like with grout, you can change the color of thin set. If you start with white and you add pigments to it, you can get a different color or shade. Once you've mixed up your grout and thin set, you do want to let it sit there for about 5 to 10 minutes so it can slake. Slaking is a chemical reaction when the water hits the dry and they are mixed together. You can apply your adhesive in multiple ways. The first being you can squeeze out your adhesive from the bottle if it comes in a bottle. The second way would be wetting, which is you apply your adhesive directly to the surface you're going to be tiling on and you add your tiles or your materials on top of that. A third way is considered buttering, and this is when you butter the back of your material, sort of like buttering a piece of toast. Wonder how they came up with that name. You would butter your piece with a spatula or a wood craft stick. Next up are base items, which is the surface you're going to tile on. And in the mosaic world and tile world, these are called substrates. Acceptable mosaic substrates can include things like wood, glass, metal, cement, fiberglass mesh, and even stone, just to name a few. And within these substrates, they could be manufactured, made by you, and even found in nature. They can be flat, round, curved, textured, smooth. You get the idea. A flexible substrate and one that can break down, whether it's through moisture or the weight of heavy objects, is not considered an acceptable substrate. For example, paper. There are various methods and styles in mosaics, and some are perfect for beginners just getting started. There's the direct method of tiling, which is exactly that. You're adhering your tile pieces directly to the substrate. And then there's the double direct method, which is when you're including something like fiberglass mesh as a substrate item. So you tile on the mesh, which will later be adhered permanently to the final substrate. There are other methods like indirect or reverse and double indirect, but for now we'll stick with direct and double direct. Andamento is the flow of your tesserae. We'll get to that word in just a minute. It's how you place your tessera on your substrate. There are so many options, but just know that there's a name or label for pretty much any and every way that mosaics are pieced together. And it usually starts with opus, blah, 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 blah. I saved the best for last because let's face it, mosaic materials are the bells and whistles, the glitter, the sparkle, the everything of mosaic. So materials in mosaic are actually called tessera or tesserae for plural. A tessera, tesserae. This can include anything and everything to create, tile, or assemble a mosaic. So we'll go through some quick options of mosaic materials because some of them are known as different names. So we'll start with glass tile, which is a big umbrella for so many different types of glass tile. There's so many textures, styles, colors, thicknesses, sizes, widths. It's so much. So when you hear glass tile, it could be so many different things. Vitreous tile or vitreous glass tile, also known as Italian vitreous tile, is smooth on one side and rigid or textured on the other, and they come in a few sizes. Their color runs all the way through the material, which means when you cut into it, you will get that color all the way through. Smalty, which is manufactured in Italy and Mexico, each come with their own characteristics. I've also heard of a smalty type of glass produced in China. Stained glass, which some might refer to as sheet glass, comes in lots of colors, textures, and opacity options. Other glass items could be glass gems, which are flat-backed domed glass, which some might refer to as glass discs, glass baubles, glass domes. They come in so many sizes and so many colors. Glass rods, which some might refer to as glass sticks. Those can easily be cut down into whatever length you'd like using your wheeled glass nippers. Mille Fiori is another option. These are small cuts of glass with a design inside. I've done a number of videos on these materials here on the channel, and I will list them down below in the description. For ceramic tesserae as well as porcelain, you could be talking about wall tile, penny tile, plates, mugs, bowls, and cups, crockery, and even lamps. These are what you typically use in pique-assiette mosaic. Pique-assiette is a French term meaning thief of plates, and it's also known as shardware, memoryware, or bits and pieces mosaic. Stone is also a popular tesserae in mosaics, including shiny and matte options. Travertine, flagstone, and slate are just a few examples. Mirror is also a fun material to work with. Glass-backed mirror as opposed to plastic-backed mirror is preferred. Again, I did a video here on this channel on how to cut mirror, and I'll include a link down below in the description. Items such as found objects are also considered tesserae. This could include trip souvenirs, magnets, game pieces, figurines and flowers, keys, silverware or cutlery, buttons, hardware, pretty much anything. There's so much more regarding tools, materials, methods, but this is a good place to start if you're just getting started in mosaic. Question of the day: what is your favorite thing to work with in mosaic? It could be a tool, material, adhesive, substrate, anything. What is your favorite thing? Let's get a list going down below to help those who are just getting started in mosaic. Thank you so much for watching. Please give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help my channel, and subscribe if you haven't already. Click the bell notification so you never miss a single upload, and let me know in the comments if there's something you'd like me to cover in a future video. I'll see you soon. Bye. No, try again. Oh, I'm just getting twisted here. Oh my God, I'm so cheesy. I'm so cheesy. Is that a word, mosaicing? That second one was better. I have been in this studio space for a long time, and I just opened the AC vent so that it hits me here on the table. I may regret that once I start getting my thin set out, because it will dry quickly, but we've learned that if we keep it covered, it won't dry out so quickly. But man, oh man, I've got the AC hitting me now, and oh yeah, good times. Good times. I'm not helping out, am I? We're almost done. Quiet on the set, please. If you're looking for more mosaic inspiration, you can check out one of these two videos. Until then, see ya. Okay, bye.